him. That is, if I'm able to reach him before the end of the show. All right, and that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to leave the politics now behind. Remember, I said I was going to try not to talk about it, but somehow I did. I want to from crude oil to drop in 2024. This is coming from the CBN Governor. And why this headline caught my interest and should catch your interest is because crude oil, you and I know, is the main revenue source for the country, right? And the country currently is saying that we don't have enough money, we're not generating enough, because even the one that we generate goes for the payment of debts. We use it to service debt. About 90 to 95, 96% of our revenue, according to the president at some point in time, is going for servicing of debts. So we are looking at how we can improve revenue generation. We are exploring the factors. You can hear the federal government focusing on the mining sector. There is the bombing of refining sites in Niger Delta, so as to ramp up the production. Remember this week we talked about to pipelines, making it difficult for oil production to be optimal, making it difficult for us to meet our target, which is up until recently 2 million barrels per day. And we've seen the budget for 2024. We see to achieve as a country. However, when we talk about the budget, we know it is factors, exchange rates, and oil production. And the government was looking at 1.78 million barrels. Allow you to do 1.78. Let's do 1.4, cutting down oil production for us to oil producing countries as a result of the war in Ukraine and economic so we don't even OPEC approved of Nigeria 1. Production 1.69 million barrels per day. The highest got to that level because of the activities of the Nigerian Air Force. Underperformance of production include crude theft, pipeline vandalization, I guess, with the dive of major oil companies. And since it's not here, maybe we would have to still push this conversation to next week and try to have the conversation nonetheless. Now, according to the article as published by one of the newspapers, it said reasons overseas living Nigeria include security, oil theft, and entrenched cities in communities. So now you see where you come in conversation. One, oil theft, which is people in our communities, right? Oil theft are done by these people. Even the rich men, I mean, the people who have money enough to weld pipelines or pipes to the oil pipeline so that they can steal oil. The people who have money enough to bring in tankers or ships into the country and steal our crude oil. We've caught a couple of them. The Navy said it caught one recently. When we look at all of these things, we need to bring all of these people into the conversation. There's also to talk about the hostilities from host communities. My guest and I were talking the other day, and yet again, I rue the fact that he's not here. I am so disappointed that I've not been able to get in touch with him. We're talking the other day, and he said to me that the host communities are very hostile to the multinationals, but he then issued a poser and said, if these multinationals leave and Nigerian companies are allowed to take over, can these Nigerian companies or oil companies do as much as the multinationals do for communities? Would they be able to take up educational funding? Would they be able to take up health funding? Will they be able to take up some of these fundings that multinationals do in communities? Will they be able to pay enormous amounts when there is oil spillage, for instance? And I'm not making a case for the multinationals. No, I'm just giving you the poser my guest, was given to me when we were talking about this very issue. And I wonder if the Port Harcourt refinery, if it comes on stream, will help reduce oil theft and the likes, because now maybe we will be producing and there will be the availability of the product, and it would not be as expensive and would not be listening to pieces of advice from the World Bank to increase petrol price to 750 naira per litre, right? And also, Dangote's refinery will not be the only private refinery, so maybe, just maybe, the price of petrol will come down to the barest minimum, or to an affordable price. I hear that the Boya Group is sponsoring the building of refineries in Akwa Ibom State, and the refinery in Akwa Ibom State is somewhere around the region of 200,000 barrels per day capacity. So it's getting really more interesting in the oil sector. We're having more investments coming. We're having more people show interest in oil refining. But then again, there is the question of how this will impact the economy, oil theft, hostilities to oil companies by host communities. Can we retrace our steps and see how we can unearth this crude oil, or the benefits of crude oil, now that the world is still engaging in crude oil production? Remember, there is the talk of moving away from crude oil, maybe not entirely, but extensively. Remember COP COP 28, was it 28? That recently we sent a huge amount of delegation to Dubai for, and of course the theme was green energy or greener energy. So I'd like to get your thoughts on this very one. It will affect our economy, they have said, and if it affects our economy, it affects you and I. So how can we in the Niger Delta ensure that this is not this does not become our reality? These very poor, bad economic forecast does not become our reality. I mean, we would have to stop oil theft in our various communities. We would also stop being all-star host communities. Do you think these things are achievable? Why are communities hostile to multinationals? What are the reasons? What are the multinationals not doing very well? I like to hear from you as well. And do you also think that maybe we demand too much from the multinationals, and then there is the oil theft part? We've been talking about that for so long. What What are your thoughts, basically? How do we reduce it to the barest minimum? I do believe there has been some reductions, but how do we reduce it further? I'd like to hear from you. I've got a commercial coming up in a few minutes' time, but still, let's talk for development. I've got Nathaniel from Bunny. I've not even opened the phone lines, but Nathaniel has called, so let's take his call. Nathaniel, welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right.
The government, are they really privy to this information?
Of course, it's from the government. I mean, Cardoso is CBN Governor.
Yes. Why I ask, what are they really doing?
Okay.
Are they really working towards what they are supposed to do? Because for us, the masses, I think the best we can do is to talk and then listen and then wait for them.
All right.
They are the ones to take action. We don't have the powers. We don't have the money. Everything belongs to government. So for me, I think one of the best ways to do this, Nigeria is a very big market, and they're just waiting all the time. The crude oil is here. Just give licenses to anyone that is willing and is able to get a license and build a modular refinery, even if it is everywhere. The issue of oil theft will just die immediately because if the modular refinery is scattered everywhere, now the prices of petroleum products will crash.
But modular refineries, have you thought about cost of production? Anyways, we'll continue this conversation. I've got a break. I have to go for that break. Have you thought about the cost of production, how they will have access to crude oil when we come back?
Right back after this.
Welcome to Model
I will have to conclude conversations on this one. But the question is, how do we tackle illegal refining once again? I mean, that question has come in so many times, but I guess we cannot overemphasize in this one, because now we've been told by the CBN Governor Cardoso that this is affecting, or will still affect, our economy even deeply in the year 2024. But there's also the talk about the hostility of host communities to multinationals, and so the multinationals are divesting. How can we have a friendly relationship, or a friendlier relationship, between the host communities and the multinationals? Are the host communities demanding too much from the multinationals? But then again, the CBN governor says if the multinationals continue to divest, then we would even have a more troublesome economy in the year 2024. At least that's how I understand it. I've got two Victors on the phone already, one from Rumukrushi, one from Owerri. I'll start with the Victor from Rumukrushi. Let's take his thoughts. Victor, welcome.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
Good evening, sorry.
Yeah, welcome. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Okay, go to your statement. I want to ask a question. I have a the question is a burden one to me. When you have to do with economy, it's like this. Now, we buy water, we pay for health, we pay for electricity. And now there is a rumor from government that immediately they finish our federal route, we will be paying toll gate. The question goes like this. What is the government doing? Because I want to ask now, are we not generating money from revenues, which is tax? What are they doing with our tax-paying money? I know maybe it may contradict your conversation.
But it does actually. And I'm wondering how, because I'm having another conversation and you're trying to move me, and it's going to be a little bit.
On writing about
And we had to revenue. Harry.
for diversify.
That you. They have light, electricity there. I have this, the host community. Those, let's extend this light to them. Let's give water to them. The roads where we will pass to our facility, let's put it in good order. This tax they do is not mandatory because they have paid everything that is required of them to federal government.
All right.
They are in business.
All right.
So now there are a lot of things that
Jude, summarize,
all
please.
this oil going down. The growth
Yeah.
is planning. We have how many? Say 400 and something illegal connections. These are
All right.
oil the oil companies are supposed to get.
All right.
But they're not getting the maximum they should get.
Jude, I'm
as a
sorry.
result of theft.
Jude, I'm sorry because of time. I would have to let you go at this point. I get your points, and I know you're trying to make some more. But I've got JJ from Port Harcourt Township. Welcome, JJ. And after JJ, please quick to the
Canada.
point. Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah. Welcome.
Canada,
Yeah.
I'll tell you and I'll prove it to you, in spite of the time I have, that the biggest oil thieves are the IOCs.
Oh, okay.
The other time, the former President Muhammadu Buhari went on Earth vacation, and some people gave him documents. Some of these IOCs, they get, like, let's say, for instance, 2 million barrels loaded in a ship. They will tell you it's 2 million barrels, and when they are offloading, it's about 4 million barrels. So you alone in one trip, you have stolen over 2 million barrels, and you're telling us, oh, community. What has community taken? Even though I don't support all those things, and there is no way that people will tap into their flow line that they will not know. Because even if they don't have the what they call it, the meter, they have what they call a gauge. And these gauges are in bar. So if you're pumping from, say, Omoku to Boni, and you're pumping for 1 hour, and the bar from this side is raising, the one that side is not raising, you should know that there's trouble on the line. See, if you have seen where they run flow line before, almost full communities are involved, and somebody will tap into your line 4 kilometers away, and you tell me you don't know.
Right.
There is a collaboration.
All right.
It's just they are the ones that will do it. Maybe the boys now overpower them and take it away from them.
All right,
it has nothing to do with community.
JJ, thank you very much.
Canada, I'm coming conclusively.
I've got to go.
For the people you say are disturbing them, nobody is disturbing them. You come to my community, scatter all the roads, scatter our means of livelihood, and you are not doing anything, and we are so poor. You go to some community,
but don't they pay government for all of that? Anyways, JJ, we'll continue open season. I'm really sorry, I've got to go. Even Ikechi from Eneka, I can't take your call. There's another commercial. I'm really sorry, but I've got to go right now.